Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits Bourbon, episode 59 on Saturday. And we're doing it a little different. We actually kind of moved our location a little bit, and we did a Saturday episode because Friday we were down at Liberty Pole.
Well, you guys were down at Liberty
you
Pole.
were. You're bummed because you got COVID and dengue fever and freaking AIDS or whatever.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
But Craig and you and I went down with Ty and Jim Wiggin and met up with Kevin and Rob, and we put our bottle in. We got it done. So, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a really cool process to be able to see. I've never seen the bottling process right there, though. I didn't realize how. I have to give it to them. My first time doing it, I assume they're very meticulous. They were very much on everything from blowing out the bottles, make sure they're sanitized, make sure they're clean, to, hey, you got to make sure you flush out the line so you don't have your old stuff in there. It seemed like a lot of attention to detail to make sure that you had a great produced product. And I didn't realize, I can't imagine if you were doing multiple barrels in a day. Because we had 4 or 5 of us. We pitched in. We were helping out down there, though. And if we weren't there, their typical crew might be 3 people. And I'm like, this could be a lot of work if they're doing
especially if you're labeling
multiple
bottles.
Right.
You're labeling like one of, because for every, if a single barrel, it's one of whatever the yield comes out to be. You don't know the yield until you've run it all through the machine and you've emptied the tanks out. So
I'm not going to lie. At some point, my eyes started to go a little cross from sticking stickers on there. And if somebody gets a sticker upside down with the proof, that was Jason's bottle. But there might be a sticker upside down on the bottle at some point.
On the second barrel we did, Craig was working the actual cap machine, and the little thing goes like this. It feeds down. It's pretty neat. But, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We look over, and every time the bottle would jam in there, all you hear is, oh, yeah. Oh yeah, and then the machine jammed because Craig was having too much fun with it. Yeah. So no, I mean, listen, it was fun, and the yield for it was here's our bottle. This is Bullits Bourbon's very first barrel pick, and we did it with Liberty Pole because number one, they make outstanding whiskey. We all love what they make. They could truly you can get behind their product because it's top flight. But number 2, they're great people and they're great friends of ours, and we couldn't think of a better way to start doing these than with dear friends of ours and having a really freaking good time while we were doing it. We probably won't ever have a barrel pick that is like that until we do another one with them in the future. But the barrel itself is going to come out on November 8th, and it's called Outside the Wire Bulletproof Rye, and this is a banger. I'm not saying that because we picked it, but it's just a banger bottle. You were getting down on it earlier today.
Well, I was a little nervous because we had a couple drinks before we went in to go ahead and do the tasting.
Yeah.
And when I say a few, I mean more than a few.
7 or 8.
And I was a little bit worried my palate was going to be torn up and we weren't going to make the best selection. But honestly, I cannot complain for a rye. I like the front end on this as well as the finish. All the way, it doesn't taste like a normal rye.
No.
And that's what it does.
It does. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It has that rye flavor to it, but it has this sweetness on the front end.
And then a good oak.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
And I think we did a good job.
Because you had it yesterday, minus the whole hand sanitizer in your mouth. This guy.
So, I told you that story. So that's what Kevin, Rob, they bring out some Glencairns. And I told you, Dad, I go like this, and I started to talk, and I kind of did this, touched my lip, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be this is going to be,
like, this barrel's horrible.
I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, then I took a little sip. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Nobody's looking. I licked my glass. It was a
Here we
toad.
go.
Like I was trying to get high. I licked the glass, and I'm like,
gotta lick it before you stick it.
I'm thinking, that's just me. I've smoked some good stuff. I licked my glass. I'm like, oh God, this is bad. Then Kevin comes out and says, I think there's a little hand sanitizer left on the glasses. I just rinsed them real quick, and I'm like, thank God, because I was wondering what was going on. I'm like, oh, this is horrible, whatever this is. But no, I love it, and I don't think it's a credit to us for the bottle that's picked necessarily. I think it's more hats off. Credit goes to Liberty Pole.
Oh yeah,
because they gave us 4 banger products to choose from, though. They set us up for success, though. I remember, I think they kind of looked at us, and I remember them talking about, you guys are kind of degenerates. We were afraid to give you full reign of picking a barrel.
They didn't want us watering the Rick House. Let's be
remember
real.
they said that? They're like, we thought we better narrow the selection down because what if you guys pick something out though, and then
It's crap.
it's crap. But I think they said we'll just switch the barrel out. So, I mean, they did. I mean, they did kind of mention like these idiots here. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's all fair.
It's all good
But
fun, yeah.
We chose a really good one. Checks at 108.19 proof. Just really, really flavorful. And we're going to be putting some more information out on this bottle as far as our tasting notes. What we got for it. These tasting notes are going to be what we actually put, what we put down in our notes when we did the barrel pick itself. So we yielded 198 bottles, and we're really looking forward to Saturday, November 8th, which is the weekend before Veterans Day, for two reasons. One, that's when this bottle will go live. And it'll go live on their website. You're going to be able to order online from them within the state of PA, no issue. And then we're going to do a little bit of a release shindig down at Liberty Pole. We're going to come down, set up a table, maybe give away some glasses.
Give away some swag.
Yeah, some merch. And then once that's done, we'll have a good idea of how many that we're going to take down, and then be able to distribute for out-of-state ordering.
Allocation, yeah.
So we're really looking forward to this. This is called Outside the Wire, Bulletproof Rye. Our very first one, and it did disappoint.
I just like the name. Outside the Wire, we both did our time outside the wire. So I'm going to raise my glass to my dead three guys.
Cheers to those.
Cheers.
Yes.
So, more to follow on this bottle, guys. Hats off to our wonderful friends at Liberty Pole. Yeah, this was fun as hell. We had an absolute blast doing it. So.
I think the thing too is we talked about as much as we're promoting it though too. No proceeds are going to Bullits Bourbon. Which
thank you. The cool thing about this bottle is that not only did we say we don't want to make anything off this bottle because we felt this was a calling, but Liberty Pole, they're just so gracious that they're going to be cutting into what they would
their profit
their profit obviously. And we're going to be donating to a veterans place in
Washington
County to help homeless vets. So we're super enthusiastic about being able to do this and give back to the community a little bit because we're all vets and we all have had we've seen what can happen when nobody cares. So this is our way, and hats off Liberty Pole. What an amazing group of people to just welcome this idea, and they were like, yeah, that's awesome. So check it out, guys. More to follow on this. Follow us on the socials, and you will see more information, tasting notes, all that good stuff. The bottle is going to be $70. Let me ask you when the last time you saw a single barrel for $70 it was good.
All right.
You're probably not going to find it. This one you will. So we're looking forward to it. So with that said, we've been on a craft kick, and we've been in PA.
We've been in PA. A lot of
Before we get past that, real time out here. Remember yesterday? We haven't talked about that. We celebrated yesterday.
What?
Number 47 for you there, hero.
Shit. Here we go.
Raise our glass. Little happy birthday to Jason here, number 47.
I'm old. 1 year closer to croaking, right?
Three more years and you get your ARP benefits, don't you there, buddy?
Do you really?
I think so.
It's 60, but 50.
I was about to get excited.
For ARP benefits.
I don't know. Stuff gets cheaper. That's actually something to root for.
Move to Ohio, you can get your Golden Buckeye benefits, I think.
Oh, yeah. Ohio. Here we go again.
So what are we drinking? I know we're doing craft. We did a lot of crafts here in PA.
Yeah.
We did the Pontife. We did the Stolen Wolf.
We decided to move west a little bit to our neighbor.
Yeah.
The Ohio. Thankfully, they make much better whiskey than they do football teams in Ohio.
I don't think... I think Ohio State's ranking should drop after today's game.
Oh, 100%. What do you think, Gregory?
They may not have lost... But it was so damn close against Nebraska.
Everybody has those games, and we have to see how the rest of the games go today, too, though. I don't know. Everybody has those games.
I think you guys are going to drop a ranking after today.
That depends on what else happens today in college football, though.
Why are you getting emotional?
It's an emotional topic.
All right. Anyways, on to their whiskey, which is much better. So today we wanted to pour to do a pour and preview of Middle West Spirits Pumpernickel Rye. So this is my second bottle. This is batch 35, and this is great craft whiskey in my opinion. 96 proof. It's just I know your position on pumpernickel bread. You're not a fan.
I don't like the pumpernickel.
But just because you don't like the bread doesn't mean that you're not going to like the whiskey.
I mean, out of all the names, dark pumpernickel.
I love it.
I'm not a fan, and there's a lot of people that don't like pumpernickel.
I've never met anybody.
I would pumper for a nickel, but pumpernickel.
He's an idiot.
Nah.
It could be pumper him and he'd still try it.
I hate you guys.
That was good. I like that. It's true too.
I love you, Dave. I'm sorry.
Would you pump him for a nickel?
I mean, make it times science. I mean, $20.
$20.
$20. Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a mix: pumpernickel rye, yellow corn, Ohio soft red wheat. I think winter wheat. I got that all mixed up, and it is pretty doggone good. Two row barley. So that's their mix. Whatever their mash bill is, underclosed. 96 proof. Retail on this is really good. It's like between 45 and 60.
Cheap bottle.
Depending on where. And so, I mean, it makes it really good. It's got a great appearance, dark amber. I mean, I love the appearance. I love the color on this. The nose, I get, and you guys can chime in, dark dried fruit. I get white pepper. I get that nice, sweet kind of marbled or like rye scent. There's just an aroma coming off of it.
See, I don't get anything different, and my nose, my palate isn't as refined as yours. We know Craig's isn't as refined as yours either. I mean, it doesn't.
He just had to say that, didn't he?
Well, we know your nose is shit.
Well, I can smell your bullshit, so keep going, Dan.
But I'm just saying, to me, it doesn't
right
sound.
under the bus, though.
It doesn't. Oh my goodness, I hate the both of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As I was. No.
Continue.
I don't think the white pepper is not something Jill I can pick up on. I keep on saying I'm going to go buy a nosing kit, the tasting kit to pick up on.
Well,
some
we've got
of these
that
things.
covered. We're going to be doing that very soon.
But when you talk about white pepper, I don't cook a ton when it comes to that though. So the white pepper smell, I'd have to nose something to.
You know the difference between white and black pepper.
He's going to sneeze no matter what
Yeah.
you give him.
Table pepper that you eat is a mix between white pepper and black pepper. That's all it is.
Right, but when you talk white pepper versus black pepper, no, I don't know. I'd have to actually smell the white pepper to know. That's
To me, it smells like almost every other rye. There's nothing on the nose to me that stands out that I can be like, I can pick this out or that out.
All right, what about palate?
well. Let's say nose. It doesn't punch you in the face. So
We've
smelled some whiskeys before too. That
Punch you.
It smells like straight ethanol.
It punches you in the nose. And you're like,
this
man.
does not punch you in the nose, but there's nothing for me that's predominant in it that it's like, I can pick out X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, fair enough. What about palate? What do you guys pick up in the palate? Craig, you first. What do you get? Besides a nice, long, awkward pause.
I want to say the dark chocolate now because we already talked about that. Because you already said that.
Talk about suggestiveness, right?
Well, we already talked about that before.
It's so bad 'cause it's all I can taste now.
Is it dark
It's
chocolate?
the dark chocolate.
Yeah. So
Originally I tasted like
Milk
a little bit
chocolate
of
is what-
I tasted like a hint of coffee or a little bit of tobacco or leather, but now all I can taste is the dark chocolate.
I can see a little bit of the leathery you're picking up.
I get caramel. I get more of the peppery notes now because this is it's suggestiveness, right? Like I said that, and then you were like, oh crap, right away you picked it up. So I get honey notes on it, which I really, really enjoy. I think it makes it just rounds out the palate. It's just very nice and it's easy. What about the finish?
Not a big hug. I'd say a very light hug. I mean, it's 98 proof, so it's not going to
not gonna
have
knock you
punch
back.
to it. I mean, it's a good for what did you say? 40 some dollars, 49 dollars?
45 to probably 60 is what you're going to
Yeah,
find.
I mean,
find
this
it
would
at.
be.
It's your typical 96 proof. I think it's 96 proof.
96 proof.
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. It's a smooth finish. If you're someone getting into whiskey though, if you want to try Rise, highly recommend it from the standpoint of it's an easy drinker.
I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's very easy. If
It's a
you're
good way to
getting
walk.
right.
It's a great rye to get to get people into rye because it's got such good flavor. It's smooth.
Well, the thing too, it doesn't have a lot of heavy earth tones into it. Where a lot of your ryes, you're going to get a lot of that like
Earthy
taste.
oak. Yeah,
and
we like those.
I like those flavors, but somebody just getting the rye, they're not going to enjoy.
I would
that.
say might make it. I'd highly recommend it probably too for if you're looking for a good rye for an old fashioned or a smoked old fashioned. I'd highly recommend, especially at $45-$50.
I think this would be
great.
really good smoked.
Yeah, you know what?
I might want to try that after we're done recording. Just smoke it.
Just throw a little smoke on it and
throw
see
a little smoke on it.
Well, we talked about that earlier. We were talking about what does smoke do for. You asked that question. What does smoke do for something?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I look. I think it has a medium hug. It's not a. I'm a huge guy about big, bold, spicy, long hugs, but I will give that. So it's got a medium hug, but its viscosity is good. It coats the mouth well. It's viscous. It's oily. I like that. Could it be cranked up to 1,000 degrees on the finish? Yeah, but not every whiskey is built to be like that. And to be honest with you, if they were all like that, they'd suck, right? You want to have a variance. So a very well put together, very nice, easy to sip, easy to enjoy, not feel guilty about killing a bottle off because the price is priced right. Whiskey from Middle West Spirits. I mean, and my hat's off to them. And we've had some of their stuff. I think I got a box bottle up here somewhere in the corner that is kind of their next level up in whiskey, and it's really good. I mean, really, really good.
Do you agree, disagree? I think it's gone off the palate pretty quick. The finish.
It doesn't linger very long.
Right, it's gone very quick. Where some of the pours we've had before are like, they'll linger for a while.
Well, it's so bad because since he said the dark chocolate, that's all I can taste is the dark chocolate, and I almost want to say toffee.
Yeah, I can see how you get toffee out of it.
I almost want to say toffee after this last sip.
Yep. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with picking up those notes. I mean, we all kind of come to whiskey, and we get our own tasting notes. You had said citrusy earlier.
I still think I get a citrusy.
And I couldn't pick that up.
I didn't get the citrus at all.
But I mean, all in all, I think all three of us recommend that this is a great one for people that are interested in rye. I think this is a great segue rye.
I think it's a good medium shelf. Like it's not nothing that I'm going to go out of my way to go buy, but it's a good pour. Yep. If I could find it, like you said, for $49 to $60, I'm going to pick it up every time.
Yeah. What it's great for is when you have those friends over who aren't into whiskey and you want to introduce them, where you're not giving them that $200-$300 bottle pour, and you're like, here, buddy, here, friend, let me give you some of this right here before you.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing I need to learn to stop doing. When people come over to give them...
You said that what happened at your house? What?
Oh, man.
It was a Wild Turkey Master's Keep, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're like, it's not that good. I wanted to smack the shit out of my friend. They're like, it's all right.
But wouldn't you say...
no, dude, you can't.
I wanted to...
Like beer. When we first all got into beer, you take a young kid who's trying out beer. They like this Bud Light, all this crap beer, though, and you give them some nice, expensive bottle to try a stout or something, and they're like, oh, this is horrible. I mean, you have to get into this, I think. Most people do have to get into it for a while, and their palate has to acquire a taste for it, though. And like the Wild Turkey, that's not something usually...
Well, it's not bad, because I have another friend that I'm walking into whiskey, my buddy Justin.
Yeah.
And I gave him the Master's Keep, and I brought over the Liberty Pole corn whiskey, the limited release that was only 60 bottles. And he absolutely, I don't know if he's blowing smoke up my ass or whatever, but he said he enjoyed both of them. He's like, this is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Dude, that corn whiskey, I think, the consensus around most of the people in the Pittsburgh area that got that bottle, that is one of their great picks.
Yeah.
It was one of their great barreling picks. I mean, and it's odd because it's a corn whiskey, so it's not like it's.
What was the mash bill? How much corn? It wasn't 100%.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, am I wrong for like people I'm trying to get into whiskey, giving them good bottles to try at first?
I don't think you're wrong. I just think that sometimes it's a little excessive.
Yeah, because sometimes there's this stigma, like especially with Justin. He was like, "Oh, I don't do dark liquor; it gets me all fucked up," and me and dark liquor, we don't mix. And then I explained to him, the darkness isn't an additive or anything. All it is the chard from the barrel inside the barrel, and that's where it gets its color from.
Yeah. It goes in white, comes out whatever amberish, beautiful tones, and sometimes it's going to be light, sometimes it's going to be very...
And sort of I explained that to him, He's like, really? I was like, yeah, all it is from the barrel. He was like, no shit.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, it goes in white, and from the barrel comes out, this color.
I think the more you try, the more you start to appreciate whether it's a $40 bottle, $1,000 bottle. I would say, yeah, when you have your friends over, definitely. I know when I have my friends come over though too, some of the whiskey enthusiasts though, I'm like, hey man, let's go in the basement. We'll crack open Stag or something. So my other friends out, they think, dude, Stag's, it's a hot pour.
Yeah.
You're pushing like 130, high 120s, low 130s. And for my friends who like whiskey, but they're drinking your Tater Bosmo, your Blanton's, or they think Eagle Rare is the pinnacle. You give them that pour at Stag, and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, it is a wasted pour because they're not a fan though. And I think maybe give them a little nip, a little quarter ounce.
Little thimble. See what
you think. Let me see what you think first.
Get an eyedropper.
Yeah.
Oh, you get to drop. Tell me what you think.
I don't think there's any wrong way to walk people into whiskey, but I do think that sometimes some bottles, their prices, it's a chance for you to kind of work somebody to that point to where then they do appreciate it. I think that you don't want to ever pour anything for somebody and your expectation is that this is really good, and then you fail to get that like level of excitement back. Right?
Oh,
they're like, you're just sitting there looking at them like,
well, even we should do that. Yeah. If you come down here with an expensive bottle, even I shouldn't pour a 1.5 ounce pour. I should pour a little quarter ounce pour.
We'll taste it.
Taste it and be like, that dude sucks.
Yeah,
where half the time, unfortunately, we got heavy hands, and I go pour an ounce and a half, and I'm like,
we have never poured an ounce and a half for ourselves ever.
That's
we do not know how to pour.
But the problem is, we pour it and we're like, dude, I'm not digging this though. But I'm gonna drink it, and it's like, shit, that was $100 pour right there.
So like I said, I gotta ask you guys, what do you tell the VA when they ask you guys how much do you drink?
I fucking just laugh at them.
Did you lie?
Yeah. Oh, the VA, how much do you drink? What a fucking stupid. What a stupid.
Like, what do you tell them?
What a stupid question.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So I feel like an alcoholic every time I go in there. They're like, how often do you drink? I'm like,
correct me if I'm wrong.
4 days a week.
They define alcoholic, so I don't know, but I think it's by a number of days you drink, or if you have more than a certain amount, a binge drinker, more than a certain amount of drinks, and it's like 3. And well, now that I'm getting close to retirement, well, I can retire now, but now I have one time answered it truthfully. Dude, it flagged. I got a phone call.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was for drinking, but it was.
Here's the number one is the VA asking.
Even not even the VA, just a doctor in general, because they go in and they.
I don't know. My most doctors I know drink whiskey, so they're
they're like, how much do you drink? And I'm like, maybe 4 or 5, straight whiskeys, in a sitting. They're like, how many ounces? They ask how many ounces.
I'm like, I don't measure.
I'm like, oh no, like maybe this much.
It's about that wide.
Yeah.
No, I don't. The VA asks, and then they pretend to give a shit, right? So this is the same VA, right? You and I, both have PTSD, right? These motherfuckers don't want to know about mental health awareness because then they're obligated to do something about it. Up yours, VA. How about that? I have zero faith in the VA's outreach for stuff like alcoholism, mental health. We're lucky in Pittsburgh. We got some great medical care in Pittsburgh.
Well, they tell me all the time, you might want to not drink as much. I'm like, I don't drink and get completely fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
They look at me like, that might be a problem.
No.
I'm like, they're like, you're drinking, you say 5 3-ounce pours. 5 times 3, that's 15 ounces of alcohol.
That's not.
That is aggressive. That does
sound bad.
I'm like, that's not that much.
Dude, why didn't you tell them that? You should have lied. What's wrong with you?
I think we need to talk to you, actually.
You need an intervention. What the hell's going on?
So me, still being active duty stationed here in Pittsburgh, we go through civilian providers. The military contracts it out. And I know I have marked that thing up, though. And so they've called me up. All right, sir, right, and you could damn near put, have you thought about suicide? I have not, but I've damn near put on there. Yep, I think one time I put on there depressed, going through divorce. Dude, they did not give a damn. They didn't ask me anything. Like, come in for the thing. It was you show up in the office and they're like, dude, they didn't ask me about any of the questions on there.
It's the biggest farce in the military or veterans is mental health.
That's the thing. Like, I know guys and myself, at some point, you go down that dark rabbit hole. And sure, fucking who hasn't? The shit we seen, the shit we done, yeah.
But you always hear it.
Like are you going to do it today? No, I'm good today.
Oh, yeah. So
you're good.
You're
Like-
fine. You're
like-
fine.
Like they
No
want,
follow-up appointment or nothing.
they want an iCalendar invite for when it's going to happen, and then they'll schedule.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
they asked me last time. They're like, "Are you depressed? Yes. Are you suicidal? Yes. Why? I got these two mother effers named Dan and Jay. They are driving me
Bust
crazy.
my
I
balls
want to
all
kill
day
you too. I'm not if I'm more homicidal with you two than suicidal.
Yeah, I've never understood the government, and it's on the one hand it wants to be like, oh, support our veterans and mental health is important. They set up all these stupid fucking 1-800, call fucking nobody numbers, and they have campaigns. And on the other hand, they could have a dude that's literally dying in front of them from mental health and need help. And this dude's screaming, I need help. And they're like, well, here's some Prozac and we'll schedule you for a follow-up in 7 or 8 months.
Or hold on. Did you go to your PCP and get a referral first?
Yeah, did you get a
For the
referral? Okay, we don't want to talk.
suicidal
Yeah, it's the bloated bureaucracy of a bad government agency.
Well,
That's all it is.
I think it's the whole thing. Like, it doesn't matter who you get in office. Things aren't going to change.
No, they won't.
Things are never going to change.
You know what? You brought it up, and we don't talk about politics usually because we don't want to polarize.
Well, no.
But-
I want to talk about it because we started talking about it upstairs.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm going to go into the dating world. For one,
Jesus.
there's two
God.
things. I showed you the one profile that the woman said. I need somebody who's open-minded and not
Right.
opinionated,
Right.
and willing to try new things or experience whatever X, Y, Z. The very next line said, "If you vote for Trump or you're a Republican, swipe left." I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, you want somebody who's open-minded, but you're showing you're close-minded. Then the same thing happened, this week. I went on a date with another woman. And
We're pretty hopeful for you on this one too.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was hopeful, and then we got talking politics, and my stance was, hey, there's certain criterias. I don't go far left, I don't go far right. I consider myself a moderate. I figure anybody who goes far left or far right, you might as well join a cult, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go and blindly follow anything, Democrat, Republican, yeah, that's basically a cult. Like, have an open mind.
No, and she
And
basically
instead of I said I wasn't going to vote for one candidate or another, she was like, it's done.
which
You went against, what
Well,
she was going to vote, and
Yeah.
when she heard what you might vote, she was done with you at that point.
Well,
though.
I asked her too. I was like, well,
sway me.
persuade me. Tell
Sway
me
me.
why I should. And all
Give
they
me
could
some.
do,
Give me an educated reason.
all they could do was bash the
Yeah.
other candidate.
That's not education.
They couldn't tell me anything about their candidate.
So
And I
so
was like,
that's not being smart.
was
That's
like,
not being educated. That is being obsessed. That is being immature. That is being a fucking moron. I mean, look, I have a rule. You guys know this, that especially since all this has started about 6 years ago. If you know my politics before you know my heart, there is something wrong.
well, that's like I had a sociology professor over at Robert Morris. One of my favorite teachers that ended up, I switched my major to sociology because of this professor. And she was like, who here knows my political stance? Nobody raised their hand.
Which is exactly
Nobody
how it should
knew
be.
That's good.
what her political
Yeah.
stance was. And she was like, all right, well, if you had to take a guess, who would guess, Democrat, who would guess Republican? And it was like split 50-50 because nobody really knows.
Which is perfect. That's just
very, very good.
That is exactly, as an educator or anybody, that is what you should strive for. Nobody should know or judge off of that in the beginning. If that is the litmus test for relationships, we are fucking doomed.
Well, then the great
doomed.
thing, she came out, she was like, I'm an independent.
There you go.
She's like, you can't go one way or the other. She's like, not one party's right on 100% of the stuff. I mean, she hit it head on. And after that, I was like, you know what? I ended up getting one of the most liberal fucking degrees you can fucking get.
Yeah.
But
I definitely go one direction more than the other. I do agree with some standpoints on both sides, though. But before I met my wife, when I was in the dating world, though, like we talked about earlier, there used to be a time where you'd give up your social security number, your mother's maiden name, date of birth, all this before you'd ever say who you voted for.
or what your party affiliation.
Well, even
was,
then, though, too, I was a big believer in. Then I had no problem saying who I'm voting for. Now I do it to avoid the controversy too, because at our age now, I don't welcome controversy at all. I'd rather stay away from controversy. If we need to have it, if you want to be rude, we can have the controversy, but I'd rather avoid it at all.
But it ruins so many relationships.
It does,
because people don't want to. They don't want to have a casual conversation and say, "Hey, you know, this is why I'm voting this way, or this is why I'm voting that way." But then it takes me back to the Dave Chappelle skit. I don't know if you remember this from when Dave Chappelle had the Dave Chappelle show. He's like, "You're more likely back in the day to tell somebody who you were fucking, how you were fucking them before you told them who you were voting for." And I'm like, what happened to that?
Yeah, I mean, guys will go out and talk about what they did with their girls on the weekend before.
But don't ask me.
But I mean, so we're 10 days or so out from an election, and this is what bothers me, right? Like, we have gotten to a point where there's irrational behavior, and I've thought about this more and more as I watch the political this and political that. We have this belief in these people in D.C. that they're smart. They are not fucking smart. They may have gone to Harvard or wherever, Yale, but a lot of these people that are in these profile positions on the left and the right are not rational human beings. They don't know how to be a calculating individual, and that may hurt some people's feelings. But look at them.
How often do you think the left or the right anymore has the country's best interest?
None.
They have their agenda.
They have their own personal
And how many times do we see a bill about to get passed and it's 600 some pages?
Full dog shit.
And within these pages, all the things, quid pro quo. Well, if you want me to pass this, we're going to get this and this. That has nothing to do with helping veterans, has to do with helping American homeland, whatever it might be, though.
Well, that's like I said a couple episodes back. One thing, the money that they spend on these campaigns
is stupid.
You got Congress and senators spending stupid money every couple years. You got the presidential.
Billions of dollars.
Is it one side's up to a couple million? Right?
No, billions. Try billions.
Oh, what's it, a billion? I must have been drinking. I heard
it's billions.
This election's up to $1 billion on one side.
So
I thought I heard. Wow!
It is absolutely asinine what they spend, and it's like, why not, instead of taking that money with social media now, you don't
send it to North Carolina and Tennessee and help the friggin' Hurricane Helene victims.
Well, the thing is, I'm
put your money where your mouth is.
Every time I go to open up my mailbox, there's at least 8 to 10 flyers for different candidates.
How about your text messages now?
Oh, text messages nonstop too. But I'm just like, do something that shows me what kind of person you are. Like, with social media, you see the Hawk Tui girl. Everybody knows who the hell she is, right?
We know her policies.
Everybody knows. Better spit on that thing. Everybody in the world knows who Hawk Tui girl is.
Yeah.
You know, if she was a candidate, she might actually win right now.
I'd vote for her.
She might win.
Hey.
Listen, at least she's defined her position.
But here's what I'm saying. You don't need to go out and spend billions on flyers, text messages. Go out and do
But this is the disconnect, okay? But real talk, this is the disconnect. The people in D.C., I lived there. You've been there. D.C. is such a dystopian landscape of fucking shit. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm not even going to try and make it sound good. These people are fucking sloths from the top to the bottom. These are this is what is wrong with the world, is this political establishment and what it has done. And listen, they have brainwashed the left and the right.
Oh,
I'm hitting you. I'm hitting both sides. If you don't like it, eat dicks. I don't care. Here's the deal. We have people that believe so strongly in their candidate that they will weep. They will cry with their heart and their soul. Let me tell you how stupid this is. This is like going to a strip club and believing the stripper when she tells you she loves you. That is how stupid I look at these people. And half of these candidates and half of these people in politics and half of the assholes, more than half, that sit in our Congress and our Senate have no fucking idea what service is to anything other than themselves and their lobby group.
Well,
that's it.
Here's the thing. I think if you're in politics, you should not be exempt from any of the policies.
None.
We've seen that with the healthcare bill. You know, they didn't have to do.
You get the same government pension as any other government worker.
How many times in the pay when the bills aren't going to pass that too, and Congress is still going to get paid though?
But my thing is, they have not passed the budget for the government.
It happens every
on time.
For the entire last 4 years, it has not. I don't remember the last time it has been passed.
I can't remember a time.
Can you imagine not being able to do your fucking job? It's just we'll just wing it this month.
Yeah, we'll
extend it for 3 months.
But yet we keep electing these fucking idiots, and we wonder why there's a problem. Listen, you can lay blame for policy decisions and executive-wise at the feet of the president. For some things. But for others, you better look square in the eyes of Congress and
it's Congress's
job. But the core problem of this is the majority of Americans do not understand how government works. They do not fucking have the intelligence to go look for themselves or the drive. Yet they'll spout out dumb shit. So I'm going to use an example. This is a touchy one, I'm not siding on a policy.
Today, Junior.
Roe v. Wade, probably the most sensitive.
We're not going to touch. We ain't going to go.
Hold on.
We're not going to go there.
I'm just talking about one side is using it against the other, and the other side is fighting back against it.
The Supreme Court justices.
But nobody understands that Roe v. Wade. It's not a federal issue. It's just
a state issue.
It's a state issue. It has nothing to do with the federal government. And I'm not talking about what I believe in at all. That's irrelevant. I have very private beliefs on this issue. But if you aren't educated and smart enough to understand how our government is supposed to function, then you're not doing this country or nation any favor.
Hey, go get some water so we can put that fire out of it.
No, I'm just saying.
He's hot. I knew we shouldn't have gotten to politics because he is too hot.
We're not in politics.
You know what's sad to me though, what's disheartening to me though too, is that the political campaigns so much now from both sides are about not talking about what I'm going to do for good from the country,
but how bad somebody else is.
Right. It's about bashing and putting down the other person, and you're supposed to be the leaders. How often in the military have we ever seen any good leader ever put down anybody else up?
Yeah.
Rare.
If you have a problem, it's behind closed doors. But now, dude, and it's endorsed by the way they bash each other too is just it's sad.
Stupid.
Well, here's the big thing. The majority of the country doesn't understand. Yeah, you have your president. They can go ahead and do presidential executive orders, but most of everything lies with Congress. In the Senate. That's why you have your 3 branches of government. And they don't realize the first thing that needs to happen, there needs to be term limits within Congress and the Senate. I say Congress, they get 3 terms. Senate, they get 2, and you're out.
I agree.
That would solve a lot of problems, because here's the thing. Then, guess what? They go back to regular folk, and they're going to make sure shit's passed to protect them.
Their legacy.
When they're hot. Because everything they do... I mean, you look at everybody when they go in. They may be worth like $100,000, $200,000. When they're leaving office, they're in the tens of 20s of millions.
Oh, their pensions come after a short period of time.
It's not their pensions.
But
It's special interest. It's PACs. It's lobbyist firms. All that needs to go away. We have just lost sight about what. Number one, we need civility. I am a firm believer that you need. I wish we had 3 or 4 parties, to be honest with you. But you need different parties because you need different viewpoints in order to have a good kind of like clash, right? Like you need that clash sometimes.
You know what? It doesn't matter because the Illuminati runs everything anyways. I'm just going to put it out there. You got to worry about the Illuminati, Blackstone.
How many times?
You got to worry about all those guys. Look what's going on with Diddy. Diddy thought he was hard, and he went up against the Illuminati.
He wants to get off politics. Yeah, he wants to try. He doesn't want to talk
Diddy
about.
Diddy fucked himself up. Illuminati said no.
So who's he politically aligned with now? Look,
but seriously,
Diddy's the only one that wouldn't win right now against the current administration. That dude got no chance.
So look, I don't want to jump. I don't want to keep on the. Dude, you use my cup. You have all the fucking cups down there, and you got to grab my cup to use for water. Have you ever thought about getting a water bottle? Seriously.
You ever thought about shutting up?
Have you ever thought about getting a water bottle?
No. I've got your cup.
Hey, bring you guys back on track.
I end up doing so much damn dishes because of this. Anyways.
Tomorrow, Sunday football, we got to look forward to. You know, sadly...
Hold on. Before we do that, go vote. Go vote on the 5th. It doesn't matter who you're voting for.
Yes, it does. You got to vote for one candidate only.
One time.
Legally. And then here's the deal. After November 5th, whoever wins, shut the fuck up. Take your stupid fucking yard signs down. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of fucking seeing signs. So tired. There needs to be a law against these stupid fucking signs everywhere. It's just enough. Don't brag.
I give him some water before he shakes out.
I'm just saying. Here's how we get back.
After November 6th, we're gonna grab all the yard signs and put them in his yard.
I swear to God, that will melt down.
They're all gonna
just
be in your yard.
accept your defeat or accept your victory. Be an adult. And go to your neighbor and start over and stop being a bunch of childish fucking retards. Because I'm telling you something, and all of us know this. We have a gift in this nation that other nations kill each other for fun.
All right. So to make things a little bit easier,
go do it.
Instead of voting for 2 candidates, you can do a write-in. Simple write-in.
Morgan Freeman.
Voted for Morgan Freeman. And it brings peace to the world.
Yeah, and plus on Deep Impact, he was presidential on Deep Impact. Wasn't he, though?
He was also God. How can you not vote for a man who was God?
I'm just saying.
He was God. Who would take that role?
So
Morgan Freeman.
Back to tomorrow. You're talking about
or
football.
Matthew McConaughey.
What do we have to look forward to, Dan, for tomorrow?
So, we got Sunday football. Tua. I got to go with Miami, Tua.
Wait, is it Hawk?
It's not Tua. No. This dude has had so many concussions. I can't believe they're allowing him to come back and play. And then he said he's not going to play with the Guardian helmet on top of that. I'm like, the NFL says, we got these concussion protocols because we got player safety in mind.
About money.
This dude, he went crippled twice.
How did he go?
Twice. Crippled.
That's not crippled 2 times. I swear to
Man,
God.
I don't know how.
Oh, man,
I don't know how the NFL allows him to come back and play. I don't know how you clear a player like that because, it's all about the money. You know what I mean? But I'm saying they don't have player interest because his next concussion, it might kill him. Nobody wants to see that. And can you imagine the impact that's going to have on the player that puts that hit on Tua?
He gonna Hawk Tua. I'm sorry, I can't.
But I'm just saying, like, does that make any sense to either one of you?
No, I'm not. I think it's foolish. I think that I don't know, man. The kid has had a lot of concussions, and we're seeing now years afterwards the CTE with football players. We love watching football. I grew up playing football. I don't want my kids to play football. I just think that there is there's so much negativity of what could happen. This is a horrible example of not putting a player's interest first. And here's why. He's on a rookie, I think the end of his rookie deal, his payout's enormous, right? There's a lot of money exchanging hands. And so at the end of the day, is the NFL allowing this because they just understand that financially
financially he made more money than all 3 of us combined in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
but to them it's not big money. $5 million to a football player, a star football player, that's not big money to them. To them that's rookie numbers, is it not? You just paid Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott plays like he has a permanent.
We look at
concussion,
it from our standpoint, where we could make $5 million for 1 year and walk away and be like, it does change our life though. Yeah. We all talked about $1 million would change. $1 million cash would change our life now because pay off the house.
Dude, if I hit my parlay tonight, that's going to change my life.
How's it going to affect us though?
Yeah. Dude, we're going to have some good bottles to drink.
There we go. There we go. Parlay. I don't know. I think it's tragic that the NFL's going to allow him to play. Now, that being said, I'm going to watch because I'm curious to see if he takes that shot and goes on the field again. I think.
But that's like back in the 90s, early 2000s. You remember the NFL VHSs, the hardest hits of football? Like, we used to love watching that. Now it's like, oh.
Well, and then their answer was, and here's what I don't like, is a new kickoff, right? Oh, we're gonna reduce injuries, and you put off a kickoff system that's the stupidest thing. The college isn't even doing it. The college, like, that's dumb, and it doesn't work, and it really doesn't. It hasn't done anything. It's funny. It goes back to kind of like the people you think that are smart in this world, that are in control. You really start to realize that they aren't that smart. Like, if you wanted to protect people, first of all, understand that you're playing a sport which is at its core foundation is violent, right? I'm going to hit the other person to tackle them. You're going to have injuries.
Oh, but I hit them
as hard as I can.
High school and college, it was you're going to hit that person as hard as you can to take them out of the game.
Yes.
So they didn't want to catch the ball. So they didn't want to run the ball.
Every
so
coach
they didn't want to block you.
that I can remember in any contact sport, from wrestling to football, that you impose your will on that person and get them to mentally quit or physically quit. We were telling our kids, go hurt them. What do I tell my son when he's out there at a football game? All right, son, go be fair and play with great sportsmanship. Or do I say, go out there and fucking sack the shit out of that dude, fucking knock his turds out of him and send him to the bench?
Yeah, fucking hit him so hard.
Hit him so hard
he
makes Jesus cry.
And he shits his pants.
Not, all right, go out there and have great sportsmanship. Shake hands all the time. And thumbs up. No, that's not how the game's violent. But over a period of years, it's the players that really need to say enough's enough and take that out of the fans' hands and the executive and the owner's hands. Because...
Well, they're in the trenches, though.
Yeah.
You are the ones making the plays.
You
You're
are
the ones taking the hit, though.
But this is
they're
no
the ones
different
that
than
can really
what was
make a
happening
stand.
2,000 years ago with the Roman gladiators. The crowds want and they give, and that's the social transaction for entertainment,
Shit
right?
was a little more real then, though.
It was. Listen,
It was a little different then, though.
It was life and death.
I'm saying.
that's
So
no
let's
difference.
might as well bring that back. Can you imagine the parlay lineup on some of that?
Ooh,
boy.
I like to take that action.
Hell yeah.
Roger going to lose an arm.
Well, speaking of, you know what's coming out soon, right? Gladiator 2.
Oh, yeah, but not with Russell Crowe, though. Is Russell Crowe?
No, it's going to happen after that whole event happened. But it's got Denzel. Bro, Denzel. Everything
Really?
Denzel's it. Yeah. Denzel, some other dude, some chick.
We saw...
Did you watch Sparta?
Hell yeah.
The
I did.
Series
Yeah.
And sad to say, because the main actor
Died.
in Sparta...
It was- they were the same actor.
Spartacus.
Spartacus.
Spartacus, young actor, died of cancer, I
Yeah,
believe.
brain cancer.
Yes.
So that was such a good series.
Very good series.
Like I need to go back and revisit that.
Yeah, well, they got some cool stuff coming out.
What do you think? Gladiator or what was the one, 300? Which would you take? Just out of curiosity. Both very good flicks.
I would go Gladiator. I would go Gladiator.
It was
I was
just
a big
so
fan of
well
Gladiator.
written.
Gladiator was well written. Where you got 300. Yeah,
It was more visually striking and kind of like cool with the way. Remember, that's when they first started using that smack action. Then it slowed, and then it would speed up again.
That was different.
I didn't
cool,
care for that much because it reminded me of that movie Sin City.
Mark Wahlberg.
No, not Mark. Frank Miller or
I don't know who did it, but it had.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
What was
it
the
had
one
Bruce
with Mark
Willis
Wahlberg?
in it.
Okay.
Oh, you're thinking of
Had the black and
Mad.
white.
Yeah, it had a lot of black and white, and then the colors were real dark. And
You're thinking when he played the anti-hero, the cop.
What we saw in Beekeeper 2's coming out.
Yeah, Beekeeper 2's coming. That's going to be dope.
I'm interested to see how that's going to
And there's a couple. I mean, for the guys, thank God we're starting to get back into like some. Instead of these pansy friggin' man kid wearing rolls, we're getting some balls.
Hey,
24 is coming back.
We're going back a little. I was say 24.
And that movie is coming.
A little
or the series.
Kiefer Sutherland. I was a big 24 fan.
Dude, I could watch
fan.
24 nonstop.
That other series coming out on Cinemax with
Skinemax.
Michael Fassbender, Richard Gere, and the guy that played Felix for 007 for the last couple of years. I can't remember. Jeremy Powell, maybe is his name.
I'm not sure what this one is.
CIA, basically, it's a spy thrill. I'm a sucker for.
Is it going to be a series or movie?
Series,
okay.
Limited series. So
Skinemax or HBO Max? HBO Max, is that what you said?
Dude, nobody watches Cinemax for porn anymore.
Well, I used to have HBO Max, but my credit card didn't offer the $50 off again, so I got rid of it. So my credit card
Max is the shit.
My American Express usually give a $50 off, and I didn't see it this time, so I got
You
rid of
guys
Max.
watching anything right now?
I've been stuck on
Outer Banks. I was just watching a new series of Outer Banks.
He's watching Love Island.
Yeah, some
I've
Outer
been
Banks.
watching Love Island.
Let's see. What did I just finish recently?
I'm watching
here?
Vikings. I've gone back to watch
I've seen the
Vikings.
Vikings. I think I got lost when they started to get a little into the supernatural.
Oh, and slow
type stuff
slow
or
horses.
something.
The fuck is slow horses?
So if it's a British series. It's a spy thriller, basically like MI5. Like slow. They're like kind of like sent to the reject house of spies. I think. Am I getting the name right? It is Slow Horses.
I don't know, but it just made me think of another.
It's good as shit though.
There's another British show. I think it was called Informer.
Yes, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I remember what you're talking about. I mean, the thing is that the big thing now is that Black Ops 6 is out, right? So we're just out. I'll be killing some teenagers.
Oh, you talking video game
Yeah,
now?
Yeah, boy.
video
I can
games.
tell you, we were putting it down last night. We were killing some kids last night.
I can see you two dummies sitting here talking smack to a bunch of 11-year-olds about banging their mothers or something.
It might be your dad, so shut the fuck up.
We go a party check. If we get banned out, it costs us money.
It's time to go celebrate your birthday here.
That is true. So, thanks for chilling with us, guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. As a reminder, check out if you want to get. They're still trying to get in this drawing for the big bottles, the Elmer T. Lee, the Weller Reserve. Go to our socials, check it out. Join Patreon. $4 a month, cup of coffee. Come on, $4 a month, cup of coffee gets you in for the big bottles. Get on Facebook and Instagram, like, follow, tag 3 people, and you'll be entered in for the Eagle Rare and the Stolen Wolf bottle as well.
And don't forget, November 2nd, we're going to be at Southern
Tier. Yeah,
Southern Tier from noon to probably about 4 o'clock. We're going to have some swag to give away, doing a podcast from there. So come down, jump on the podcast, talk about whiskey, beer, whatever's going on in the burg.
Yeah. And you also have Blue Jeans, Bingo, and Bourbon coming up November 8th at Acrisure Stadium. Hinesfield. So check them out. You can search at the Blind and Vision Rehabilitation of Pittsburgh, or just search out Blue Jeans, Bingo, and Bourbon on the internet. It'll pop up. Check our socials out. It's there. But they're going to be doing some giveaways and a really good cause. A great fundraising opportunity if you're interested in helping out for some really great people. So, we look forward to it, guys. Hope to see you out there definitely at Southern Tier. And, as one more last pitch, it's coming soon. Don't miss out. We'll have details on our socials. But, yeah, you're right, guys. Time to go upstairs, drink, eat, have a good time, right?
Sounds good.
As we say, until next time, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.